Hey.
So
Dinner.
yes, you guys are hanging around the fire pit in the monastery, and a lot of the folks are coming around to enjoy the meal that they'll cook up for everyone, the big roast meal. But everyone's coming in like waves. It seems that they've run into a problem on night one where like everyone came at once. It's like the structure can't support all these people, so they have broken it up into groups. Like group one comes and they all eat, and they move on, and group two comes and they all eat. You know,
That makes sense.
yeah. And the monks have put most of their people in like the final group, so you guys can pretty much fit into whichever group you want. Whoever you want to go and sit with, you can.
Yeah, we're not that big of a group, so I'm sure it's fine.
All I know is that everyone who got really high is probably going to eat like a mountain of meat. Like a fuck ton of food.
Yeah.
I guess we can probably join in whenever the NPCs join in.
Yeah.
To like eat all together as a group.
Okay.
Nice and wholesome.
Yeah.
So you all sit together and around the roast that they have there. It appears that they have sort of rams and stuff that live up in the hillside, and goats, and they are mostly what's been hunted here and brought back to eat. And because there are so many of them up in the hills, they're able to bring back enough to feed everyone. Probably not for a extended period of time, but for a little while anyway, for the time being.
A couple of days.
Yeah. So you all sit around and enjoy your food. Some of you are more hungry than others.
I bet Faye's just watching you guys eat like so much food. She's like, holy shit.
Devouring it all. Yeah.
Like, holy fuck.
They have a selection of vegetables and various fruits and cheeses and things like that they have acquired through trade and grown locally nearby for everyone to pick out as well. And everyone's just enjoying a good feed, sitting around, chatting, eating, drinking. No more of the tea is in circulation currently because of the size of the group. They can't really monitor.
Oh god!
Who's
Oh my
drinking
god!
So there's no more tea going around at the time.
We can see like that. Can you imagine if everyone got high? It'd be like a sea of like screaming toddlers.
Yeah.
You're like, holy shit!
An ocean of people.
Everyone would just ascend to godhood immediately.
Yeah, immediately. The world would come to an end and you would all project to the astral plane.
Fucking raptured. And it's just like, holy shit.
Amazing. So you partake of a wonderful feast and enjoy the company of your friends and allies. Is there anything you would like to do whilst having a feed?
Is there any kind of conversation going on right now between anyone?
It's mostly just small talk. And just, no one's really talking about what really went down. Like, everyone who was involved and knowing. No one's really spoken about what really happened, and everyone's kind of keeping that in the hush-hush. But mostly it's just small talk about this and that.
Like, the tea.
Oh, this tea is so nice. Where did you get these goats from? Oh, they're here? Oh, that's lovely.
Oh my god. I love that Aris was like, it's fine, I had some of it earlier.
Yeah.
So it's like, what?
What the fuck?
Shit.
I'm just wondering, but is everyone in robes and stuff too, or are we like in our regular?
I imagine that since we pretty much at least half of the people drinking tea spilled tea on themselves.
Yeah, you guys are wearing like the monk clothing, like
Oh,
the
cool.
cloth like stuff. If you choose to be, otherwise you can wear whatever you
Yeah.
wear.
No, I was
I
just
imagine
wondering out of curiosity.
Yeah,
I imagine at that point everyone changed because like Diana
Yeah.
just all over herself and clothes on his pants, and it's like, yeah, look.
The other important question is Kelos in full plate?
she's always in full plate.
It never leaves her skin. It's just literally attached to her.
Yeah, yeah. No, she is wearing her full plate armor.
That's
oh my
what I
God.
figured.
Commitment.
Got all these people in comfy clothing. You just have Chaos there looking like she's ready to just decapitate somebody.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe that's her
mean,
comfortable outfit. Maybe that's a comfortable armor.
It's made
like-
of metal. I doubt it's comfortable.
It's like the one she wears to
I mean,
bed or
to
something.
her, I mean, you don't know what she's into. That could be like fucking like feathers, like goose feathers to her. Like,
Fuck. Where is she, by the way?
She is hanging out near everyone. Not really taking part of the meal, but is sitting around with everyone, enjoying this sort of sense of community. Pretty quiet.
Interesting.
She's you do note that she's kind of sitting like slightly away from the group, but she's just kind of people watching and enjoying everyone talking amongst each other.
Okay. Mm. How's Clovis looking now that he's calmed down?
Oh, he's fine.
He's fine.
Yeah, he's having a great day. He's smiling. Everything is joyful and happy, and everything is just really nice. You know, you feel the same way. Everyone's like happy. You're very happy. You just have this like, oh yes, good. Feel about you. Like the day is a great day. That's what you feel like
Okay.
for the rest of the day.
Lasara was saying she wanted to go to the baths. I was gonna say maybe we should wait until like a lot of the people go to bed, so it's not super crowded with like people running around.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
You've also noticed that some of the monks, like the elder monks and all that kind of stuff, they seem to be taking the same approach, waiting till everyone's gone to bed, then they get the baths where it's nice and quiet.
Diana is going to make that suggestion.
Alrighty. So,
Yeah, that sounds good.
yeah.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
agree with that.
No problem with
You
that.
guys make plans to enjoy the baths a little later. What would Gunther like to do?
Yeah, just out of curiosity, well, Jeffrey is going to kind of like just go see Kalas because he wants to ask something. He
Okay.
wants to ask why she's like just like a little bit like more on the side of not participating.
She looks out among the group, and then she's like, "Oh, crowds just tend to make me a bit nervous. That's all. I'm more of a solo body."
That's understandable. I do tend to prefer quieter situations myself.
He side-eyes the girls. Not with this bunch.
These loud bitches.
They're loud.
And they hold me down and just violate me by taking off my mask.
Jeez.
Oh man, I don't think that's a story we've told anyone.
No,
I don't
no
think
one
it
ever.
is.
I think it's fine that
How we
way.
literally broke into his room, held him down, and like that sounds very wrong. Maybe there's a reason
While,
we haven't
while
told anyone.
drunk, by the way.
Yeah, I think there's a reason we haven't told anyone because that sounds very creepy, actually.
You trespass.
I mean, the girls were drunk. Diana was very drunk. I remember that.
Oh no, I remember that Gunther was drunk too because that was
Yeah.
yeah.
Locking the door was just dumb luck. 'Cause you- yeah.
But yeah, sorry. Go on with the thing you were saying to class.
What was I? Where was I at? Oh yeah, I was saying I prefer
Oh.
quiet situations myself, and
Yeah.
well, I don't know where I was going with this. I lost my track.
Oh no.
My life.
Me all the time though.
Yeah, same.
Well, if you do need if you do feel like you need some company, I can, like, maybe we can just talk.
She nods and she says that's very much appreciated. I thank you.
Well, I hope you're having a good time here.
She looks around at the crowd of people who are all rather jovial and enjoying themselves and, having some drinks and laughs, and a couple of the more rambunctious town folk are sort of putting an arm around the odd monk and pulling him in and being like, "Hey!" And the monk's like, "Jesus Christ, okay, cool." But the monks are kind of like into it. They're having a good time and laughing about it. So, Kalas is like, "Yes, I believe I am having a good time."
That's good to know. Well, I'll leave you to what you're doing for now. And I'm going back to eat. with the
He like
rest of the crew.
moonwalks out of there.
Alright, he slowly backs away.
He blows his cape.
Yeah. Billows his cape dramatically.
Turns around
I-
like...
Billows his robe.
I have a very important question.
Yeah.
Is a white dragonborn here?
Yes. He
Oh, no.
is. He wasn't. Yeah. He was in the baths earlier, but he is here amongst the people.
Fuck. Is Lazara okay?
Yes, Lazara is
Lazara's ignoring him.
Okay.
Fuck. World of pain.
He seems to be also ignoring Lazara.
Oh, one of those. Oof. Where's Indigo? Is Indigo with us? Or is she still flirting?
Indigo is sitting around where those boys are, kind of like the local
Well, it's like
city teenagers that are in their late teens, kind of just surrounded by them, and a group of them are just kind of like chatting with them, making chit chat, laughing at their jokes, that kind of thing, making them all feel good. You can feel like every time Eris glances over at her, you can feel like pride radiating from her.
Lazara too.
Yeah.
Eris is all like, I want my child to be just like you.
Fuck. Eris is proud. Simone is judging.
Yeah.
Oh. I wonder if Clovis picks up on that, considering his whole background,
Picks up on the
like the whole thing she's got going on.
yeah. Yeah, he does. He can see it a mile away.
The one smart boy.
The real manipulative women, he can like really see it from like forever away. He's just kind of watching them and like he's silently judging. He's not like shaking his head or sighing or anything like that. But he's just or tutting or anything. He's just kind of like watching, and like inside, he's just kind of like, "Come on, guys! Like, really? It's very obvious. You are fucking hopeless."
Amazing.
Yeah. So, was there anything else anyone wanted to do for the remainder of the meal time?
Not especially, as far as I can think of.
I guess I could mention that whole hunting trip that Faye's gonna take tomorrow and see if anyone's interested.
Alrighty.
If I'm being quite honest, it's mainly just to, kind of hook up, and then she just kind of gestures to Gerbus and the other one.
Yeah. So they're kind of sitting like on the same side of the fire together. Well, not together, but they're both on the same side of the fire. They're sitting kind of decently far apart, but only because Gerbus couldn't sit any closer to her because the people that are all sitting around her. So he's kind of like at a distance, but he does keep glancing up at her.
When Faye says that, Diana has this little cheeky smile.
Yeah, she totally told me that she's into, well, manly dudes. She has finger quotations, like really manly dudes. And I figured, maybe if he got like a kill and he's like, oh yeah, look at this kill that I just brought, it may pique her interest. I mean,
can we roll insight on that like thought process?
Yeah, sure.
I'm curious.
Sarah's not gonna roll. She's already made up her mind.
Okay.
She's like, oh, we're gonna get 2 people lay. Count me the fuck in.
No, I didn't say that was what she made up her mind on.
Never mind. But whatever.
But probably yes.
So the two of you can tell that I mean it's a pretty legitimate thought process, and I mean
it might work.
Sounds like it could work. Let's give it a try. So I mean, yeah.
Lysaira says, "Look, there are some people that you can work out." And she just kind of glances over at Gerbus, and she turns back to Faye, and she says, "I don't think you're going to fix that guy."
Oh, no. I never said that he's going to, become a manly guy. I just have to convince her just, once. Get her a little taste.
Fair enough.
At least if he fails, maybe he'll give up.
Yeah, that's just basically what I
Sure.
thought. If that doesn't work, then, guess game over,
Does Dragon Dad have any advice on how to be a big, tough dragon dude?
That reminds me, make a perception check, everyone.
All right.
Took forever for my numbers to show.
All of you have been able to spot throughout the last, however long it's been, last good few hours that you've been here together, especially over the course of dinner, Azus kind of like occasionally glancing up towards Simon, silently, not really making anything of it, but like, occasionally looking up at him.
Oh no!
But is
Eris is like,
but is
bitch.
Eris reacting?
Eris is wearing her same look that she always wears. This confident, quiet smile.
She doesn't have to worry about a thing. She knows it.
Yeah, she's fully aware that, like, she wouldn't make a move, and Simon
Has no idea.
has no idea. He's far too oblivious. And also, Eris could crush her. So, she's okay. It's not a problem.
She gets
She's
to live
not a
another day.
She is not a threat.
This
She
is
is...
my dragon husband. Get
Yeah,
down.
she has assessed...
Excuse you, it's his baby that's inside me, not you.
She has assessed the competition like head to toe, and she's not concerned. Plus, she knows what Simon's like. So
Yeah. You can look, but if you try anything, I'll cut a bit.
Yeah.
Actually.
So, you guys all agree to this wonderful little hunting trip in the morning. As you continue eating your meal together and enjoying a nice time. You guys are among the last group. So soon after the meal, the sun is like going down, or has gone down, and it's kind of dusk at the moment. And you notice a couple of the elder monks kind of gathering their things to quietly make their way down to the baths. So now is your time to probably do the same.
Hey.
Hooray! We can get clean.
Hooray.
Yeah. Clean. So you gather your things and head to the baths. In the baths along with the monks, you have Clovis, Eris, Simon, Indigo, and Griselda. So all of you, as well as a couple of the elder monks and the guy who's sort of in charge of the monastery, all of you are in the bath at around the same time.
Mm.
So you'll head in there and make yourselves comfortable.
Don't make a point to say that Diana is wearing a towel this time.
Okay.
Was there any towels left though?
Yeah, there is plenty left.
Okay. All right.
So-
Yeah, then Faye's wearing a towel too because she always
She
does.
went in there and she had this moment where she was like, wait.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Lazira turns to both of them and she points at Faye and she says, "I expected this of you." And then she turns to Diana and says, "What happened to you?"
Everyone got tired of seeing your saggy boobs.
She's like, nothing.
So Clovis is there as well, and he's wearing a towel too. And they all sink into the bath, still wearing their towels because they're those kind of towels that you wear like in the water.
Yeah.
But they also have drying off towels as well.
It's like
Lazira just glances at both of them and she just kind of sighs and shakes her head.
So
Isn't
you all
Gunther
get-
wearing a towel too?
I never established that ever, so I'll just say yes.
Okay. Griselda is
I
also
just-
wearing a towel because she doesn't want to scour these people.
What did you say?
Lazar's all like, "You guys are all nerds." It's like, actually, we're the cool people, and cool people wear towels now. Sorry, I didn't get to the memo.
On Wednesday, we wear towels.
Yeah, on Wednesdays we wear towels.
But, what did you say before, Nick? I didn't hear it, really.
Griselda isn't. Griselda is wearing a towel because she's.
Oh god, thank God.
She is sparing us.
Yeah.
Thank
but there's
God.
also like the elder monks, Simon. Actually, no. Simon's wearing a towel. The elder monks, Eris, Nate, and Indigo are not wearing towels. However.
As expected.
Yeah.
Simon with his tiny little towel.
Yeah.
That he has to
But that's the thing is that everyone has like big towels that cover them. He has like the same towels, but on him it's just a rather small towel.
It's like a little loincloth.
Yeah.
This cover is a bare minimum.
Yeah. But he everybody sits in and gets comfortable.
But yeah, no, look, like Dragon Dad is here, the boyfriend is here.
Yeah.
She's gonna wear a towel.
Yeah. Safe bet. You notice that most of the monks are sitting like fairly spaced apart. As Griselda is she's sitting there like reading a book as well.
Two bros chilling out the I'm sorry, every time someone mentions like people in a hot tub spread apart, I have to do it. I have to do it.
I was thinking about the exact same thing.
I was thinking about it earlier too.
In a hot tub, 5 feet
2
apart,
meter.
because we're not gay.
Yeah, 2 meter not gay rule.
Like Gunther and Simone had a moment like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the girls in the party are like full gay.
Like we're in towels, but we're like smushed up together.
Fuck.
So, yeah, everyone's kind of sitting wherever they wish to sit. It's up to you guys.
Good.
Simone and Eris are sitting together, and Nate is also nearby because she just hangs around Eris.
Just hanging out there.
Griselda's on her own. She's reading a book.
Is
And
Tuazar in the hot springs as well?
Tuazar and Merton, yes.
Okay.
And Clovis is kind of sitting near Simone and Eris, but kind of like slightly separate. Because like she's naked and that's kind of a bit, full on. He's kind of quietly sitting kind of nearby.
It's like, okay, it's
but
like,
minding
I'm
his
gonna
business.
stay here.
Yeah. Doing the respectful, like, eyes down, like not looking, no staring, minding his damn business.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Look.
You know that Eris wouldn't care, but
Oh yeah.
that's why she's naked.
Aries doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm beautiful, look at me.
Yeah, exactly.
Behold.
Behold my pregnant glow.
I just
It's like she's
remembered.
barely pregnant. She doesn't even have like a belly yet. She's just all
Yeah.
like, I'm pregnant. It's just like, yes.
Move, I'm pregnant.
I just remember this is like one of the rare sites where you see Jeffrey without his mask.
Yeah.
Oh
everyone's just staring because it's so weird. Like,
It's
oh
wait,
yeah,
it's Lawson.
he has a face.
That was my opportunity to steal his mask again.
No, please don't do that.
We don't. Yeah. Well, actually, Faye didn't say it. Oh, it's seen it, so I can't say it. About how they were wrestling on the ground. I wasn't there when that happened. Unfortunate.
Rip.
Is Kalos in the hot springs?
Not yet.
Okay.
She waited until everyone was finished eating, and then she was going to eat her food. So after that was done, everyone made their way for the hot springs, and she was going to come join after she was done eating. She was quietly eating alone, kind of.
Oh.
nearby.
I imagine
own
her
little
like
meal that she
sitting in the water with her full plate up.
No, she was doing that.
Just straight out Alphonse Elric this.
Yeah.
Or she just scoops up the water and pours it into her suit.
It's a portable tub.
Yuck. Anyway, you guys sit for a little while. Is there anything that you wanted to do or say or anything like that while you're in the baths? It's not like a cramped space either. It's a rather large, like 40 by 40 foot, like really large open bath with like areas that are obscured by rocks and that kind of thing as well.
Jeffrey's just chilling.
What are you implying?
Nothing. I'm just saying that there are areas for you to sit alone without everyone else kind of crowding around you. Or
It's like
staring at
everyone
you,
like
you
just
know.
goes into like a separate bath. Like no.
Fuck these guys.
Trust it to you guys to take it somewhere filthy. What are you implying? I'm implying nothing. I'm implying that there are.
I mean, we wouldn't do it because we don't want to get kicked out.
Yeah, obviously. I was just implying that there
We
are
actually
rocks
like
there
you coming here.
decoratively to allow you to sit quietly and read a book or whatever the fuck.
Oh, so like,
Filthy.
they could probably.
You said. Well, the funny thing is, like, Chris is like, we wouldn't do it, but that doesn't mean that Eris wouldn't do it.
Not wrong, but she wouldn't do it in a bath though. That's been like used publicly by a bunch of people. She's smarter than that.
Like me, no.
Yeah.
You don't want to catch an infection. Ew.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't want bits of all of these people in me.
That'd be a terrible place to catch a bug.
Yeah. No,
Like her son gets born, and she's all like, "And this is your dad, and also part of these people are technically your dad." Maybe.
I don't know, possibly.
It's a mystery.
Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that.
Like what?
A bit of him and him.
How
and
do
her,
tieflings work?
And him and her and her and him. And all of Vaskia, really, is your dad.
He's just like, what the fuck? Mom.
Let's not. Sirius is fucked up enough as it is, and he's not even born yet. He's gonna be something.
Broken.
Just like everything else in my life.
So, you guys,
I'm just wondering, so Aries and Simone and Nate are pretty much like hanging out close together. I imagine they're like just chatting about nonsense.
yeah,
Oh,
Nate's keeping mostly quiet, just enjoying the soak,
hmm.
the nice warm bath, and Aries and Simone are just chit-chatting.
I guess Diana's going to ask Aries, so how was the way here?
She said, well, it was reasonably nice. There was a spot where we had to make camp, and that was rather cramped, the amount of people, but, well, we made it here all right, and we're here now, which has been nice.
I noticed. Judging.
She just smiles, and she's just like, yes, the monks are very accommodating. It's quite nice.
Oh, fuck.
They've treated my friend and I quite well, and she looks at Nate, and both of them just kind of go,
They're fucking assholes.
yeah.
Actually, there was a thing I wanted to ask Clovis.
Mm.
Diana's going to ask him how that whole writing thing went in the end. Did he find more time to do that?
The writing thing.
Mhm.
And he says, it's been kind of busy, so not really, but I'll find some downtime to, get a bit of it done.
Good.
You can see that he's like, he'll occasionally look over and make eye contact with you, but then he like looks away, like constantly. Yeah.
Because she's naked? Well, she's not naked.
No, but under the
she's-
towel she is.
It's like, oh god.
He doesn't know where to look.
Yeah. And under his towel, so
Like,
is
oh,
me.
shit.
And you're very close together, and he's like, So he's just kind of like looking away mostly. Occasionally he'll make a polite amount of eye contact, but that's about all he can manage without, nerves.
Poor buddy. He's trying his best.
He is.
Oh, you mentioned Trusa and Merton were there as well?
Yeah, they're kind of sitting together, kind of around where Griselda is, which has kind of urged her to like scoot further away from them. Because like they sit there and like they chit chat and tell jokes, and Tua, like Merton kind of has his little giggle, and Tuazor laughs uproariously. And she'll like
She's allowed.
she'll in her half orcish way kind of laugh at a joke and then slap her knee, but her knee's slightly underwater, so it just splashes everywhere. And it's just kind of like, please don't damage my book. So Griselda keeps like scooting away.
Even when she's on holiday, she's this way.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah.
She is a good.
Yeah. She does keep glancing up, however, at she keeps glancing at Diana and Clovis and making sure that Clovis is behaving in a respectable manner. Not just towards Diana, but because they're at the monastery and there's all these people around and respected like elder monks, and it's just like, please don't please don't make a fool of yourself. You already did earlier. Please not now.
Not like this.
I will
Not
get a
again.
perception check from everybody.
Perception.
All right, let's do this.
Let's open our eyes or ears, whichever.
Youch.
All of y'all take note of the fact that Griselda is also glancing over at some of the elder monks quite a bit.
Oh no.
Just kind of looking over at him, admiring them.
Oh,
Quietly, as she kind of like looks from her book over to them and back to her book.
She likes a mature man.
Is she like checking him out or?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's pretty keen on him. But every time they sort of start to look up slightly, she darts back to her book and pretends to keep reading.
Diana's going to.
Yo, same.
She's like, she's like quietly in the side. She's like, hey, notice that.
Clovis, like, he has to like. You see him like look over her and then follow her line of sight over to them, and you see him just kind of like he has to like look down, close his eyes, and like try and contain his composure, and like he has to like slap his hand against his mouth to like stop himself from laughing. And it's absolutely hilarious. Like he's trying so hard not to like giggle and be like, ooh, but, you can feel that he wants to.
Yeah.
You're like, what are you looking at? Like, that kind of thing. But like, you know that it's like, he knows that Griselda's been looking at him, so he knows that like, if I say that, she's going to crucify me. So I need to be like, best behavior, just
We don't need to lose another
quiet,
king.
proper. Respectful, quiet, proper. Ooh. And he just composed.
This fucking Diana just snickering to herself.
Yeah.
Is Dragon Dad relaxing?
Oh, he's chilling. He's like leaned all the way back down to his shoulders in the bath, at the edge of the bath, and his head's like resting back, and he has like a warm towel over his face, like one of the little wet hot towels.
Oh, that's nice that he's actually like chilling out.
He's actually like full on, like arms spread out, like relaxing, like head back, looking up, but just towel and just like he's just chilling.
He needed that.
It's good. And Eris is kind of like on his side, like this, like resting against his chest, like she's lying in a bed, but like it's like a nice warm bath. And then there's Simon's. She's like, yeah, pillow. So she's comfortable as well. They're both just like you know,
good on them.
at peace.
I can't get over Griselda.
She's on holiday too. Let her check out, boys.
I'm gonna say that Diana's going to spend the next several minutes just joking about it. Chloe's just like on the low.
Just trying to make him laugh.
Yeah.
Like he's
just cheeky little jokes.
so he's putting all of his effort into centering himself and trying not to laugh. And like, despite all of your constant like jokes and snickering and like pointing, look, she's doing it again. Which one is she looking at now? And like, he's just like he's like pursing his lips and like pulling a face and like just he's almost tearing up, like trying to just fight it and keep it down within him, the laughter. But yeah. So this goes on for several minutes. Far longer than Clovis wishes it to. What is Lazira doing?
I imagine she's like just chatting with Indigo.
Alrighty. Indigo is sharing her opinions, shall we say, on not being allowed in the baths along with the boys, even though other monks are just fine. It just seems to be her that they're picking on, And it very much turns into a vent session about how she wants to, be around those boys more while she has an opportunity to do so. And wanting to make friends, and she's making up excuses by why she wants to be like all flirty with the boys, and you can tell 100%. You don't even have to roll insight to be able to tell that she wants to like get her hooks into them, and have them like you can tell that she's building up this confrontation where she wants them to like fight each other for her.
Oh my god.
Like just what she's been describing of like what's been going on with them and stuff. Like you can tell that this is what she's been building up to, is like this big like, which of you really wants me? That kind of thing.
Lazira has
boys, so they'll be like, yeah, come on, let's go, bro. Like they're all idiots, and she knows it.
Lazira just has this look on her face, and it's less that she's upset about this and more that she's amazed at how crafty Indigo is.
Yeah, this is something she's done for many years now, back in Windmere. But she's explaining like the differences in like what you have to do to I suppose take advantage of, but she doesn't use that word because she doesn't see herself as doing that, obviously. So,
right.
But she basically what she's describing is how to better manipulate, like the differences in manipulation for like noble boys in Windmere versus like the common townsfolk in Vaskia and the things that they find interesting and that sort of stuff.
As this goes on, Lazira starts sharing tips of her own.
Yeah. And she has like decent insight into the matter, and she takes down your notes, but she has plenty of notes for you to take down as well. And now, Lazira, thanks to your long and informative conversation you've had with her, you will have advantage on persuasion checks and deception checks against specifically nobles in Windmere.
Perfect.
Oh my god.
I swear to God, I hope this comes up eventually.
Noble men in Windmere, I should say.
Guys, specify.
I swear to God, I am writing that down.
Good. So, during this time that you're sharing persuasive tips on boys, what is Gunther doing?
He's just chilling, enjoying his time there.
Yep. Just quietly enjoying the warm bath water and hanging out. Relaxing, finally. After a little while of hanging out, Kelas comes in and moves over toward like the changing area, which is mostly like the area that's where they have all the towels stashed away in the little cubbies for people's clothing and personal effects. And it's mostly tucked away from like view of like the baths and stuff, but not quite. And you can see as she takes off her armor and she has kind of her underclothing on, and she's trying to find a place to put the armor in that tiny little nook.
Oh
and
no!
you can see like none of it is going to fit. Like she like
It's like a really hard game of Tetris.
yeah, it's just like it's like those games with like the children, like they have to fit like the circle blocks through the circle holes and the star through the star.
Oh no!
But she has this massive breastplate, and it's just like oof, against like the front like square of this little cubby hole, and there's no way in which this will fit. And she's kind of like and then puts it down carefully on the floor, and then like her helmet she puts into one of the cubbies, and it just barely fits, and she's like, okay, and that's a step up. And then she takes off the gauntlets and the boots and stuff like that, the greaves and stuff, and tries to put them in there. She can fit like the gauntlets and like the boots into two of the cubbies separately. So she takes up 3 cubbies with like her helmet,
Oh my
gloves,
god!
and boots. But or gauntlets and boots, I should say, but like the breastplate, the pauldrons, the arm. The arms are part of like the chest plate. They're built in all as one unit, but and the greaves as well, like the legs, they all have to just sit together in front of like the cubbies, like just taking up a whole bunch of space. And you see her kind of look around, like through all the other cubbies, like grab a towel. Ooh, that one's wet. Grabs a different towel that's not been used. Strips down.
It's good they're just watching her get naked.
Heavy breathing.
Well, I don't know.
Creeper.
That's up to
Are
him.
you?
No.
Run like,
That was a
I want to
very-
say yes.
That was a very hesitant and
That's a I would, but Jeffrey wouldn't out of respect.
It's like he's watching, but he just wants to see her muscles. It's not dirty in any way.
yeah, no, of course not. He wants to admire the person that helped carry him. He's very friendly, very nice lady. So she gets into a towel, tucks her clothes away into yet another nook, now taking up 4, and then makes her way over to the baths and slips in quietly. Kind of away from everyone. She is, now that you've seen her out of her armor, she is like, I'd say more muscular than Tours are.
Oh shit!
Jesus.
Wow! Holy shit!
And about the same size as her as well, like just height and like bigness.
Alright.
I don't know.
R.I.P. Gunther's penis.
But yeah, she's a really shredded woman. Like
Hard ass
bodybuilder heavy.
motherfucker.
Nice.
Like you assume probably from constantly wearing such heavy plate armor all over her and using a big great sword and all that shit.
That should help.
It's probably more like bar titties than just titties.
Well, yeah, well, true.
That happens when
Yeah.
women are very muscular.
That's
yeah.
true. She's not like crazy bodybuilder, like
Oh,
those
yeah,
ones
yeah.
that just basically turn into men.
Yeah, but
But
you know,
like
the
the-
fat goes.
Yeah, but she's big and tough. But yeah, she kind of quietly sits alone in the bath, kind of at a distance between where Diana and Clovis are and where Lazira and Indigo are, just kind of in the middle between,
Mm.
with the nice
Oh.
gap in between. And she has her sort of platinum blonde hair all done up into like a bun at the top, just so that it doesn't all get wet.
Oh.
I see Gunther is basically doing the same thing Griselda's doing, just with
No,
Just like
he's not.
one woman.
Glancing.
K is, but Gunther isn't.
Yeah.
Not the same person,
So, yeah.
technically.
There is a degree of separation, so it's
Good,
fine.
because Diana is on that shit right now.
Yeah. Looking at who's looking at who. Yeah, so you guys are enjoying your time in the bath. It's nice and relaxing, and after you've been in Vaskia for those days where you've been fighting out in the freezing cold with like blizzard-esque weather and fighting a white dragon that was blowing ice breath everywhere and all that kind of shit, it's nice to just sit in a nice warm bath and relax, and just all the problems are dealt with. And you're just like, ah, yes, finally, peace. You understand these monks now.
Mm-hmm. Peace and quiet.
K's all like, yes, peace, inner tranquil, and looking at buff naked women.
Ah, yes, my heaven, my nirvana.
I can die happy now.
I just want to point out Lazira was checking her out.
Excellent.
Do I notice? So I was just having fun with this right now. It's just, yeah.
Does Diana notice that?
How obvious is Lazara?
Well, she's not being very obvious because she doesn't want Kellos to see her.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, it's very true. She could probably rip you in half and toss you asunder. But yeah, it would probably be a deception, and I'll say sleight of hand. Oh, perception and sleight of hand.
Okay.
Oof.
Damn it.
Yeah, no, you're a sneaky ninja at these glances, like just, you know, a look here and there, but when you see Diana isn't looking at you.
It's more like a sleight of eyes.
Yeah, sleight of eyes.
Damn, I can't compete against an 11. Fucking Rose.
So, right. You guys are enjoying your time in the bath. You notice that, like, the more ruckus, shall we say, that Tuazar is stirring up in the water, the more Griselda scoots away from her and closer toward the other monks.
Oh my god.
But like she's kind of like doing it to get closer to them, but also she's kind of like, you know, to get a better view. But she's also doing it to like she's doing it under the guise of avoiding Tuazar's splashings.
She's she's trying to get the first row seats.
Yeah, that's pretty much what she's doing.
Yes.
Yeah. He's taking notice as well. He's like he's pulling a face and just trying so hard not to laugh. It looks like there's something inside of his head that's trying to explode, and he's just like putting pressure on it to keep it down. He's looking up at the ceiling, and just like tears are flowing out of his eyes, and he's making like a sour kind of face, like after eating a lemon, like pursing his lips, and just like trying really hard to laugh.
He's doing his best.
Yeah. It looks real funny. But yes, Griselda gets fairly close, closer than Lazira is to, let's say, Kalas at this point.
Oh shit.
To the monks there.
She's moving in, boys.
She's on a mission.
And she is sort of like still reading her book, but still glancing at a couple of the monks. And I'll keep the same perception checks rather than making you roll 60,000 of them. But you guys also take notice of one of the older monks kind of also sharing glances up at her.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Just quietly. God. He's kind of like minding his business, but he keeps glancing over at her. And you can tell that he's kind of giving her a look up and down as well.
Oh god.
I was hoping someone's going to get laid this session, but this is not what I was expecting.
Just a mental image we don't need.
Does Clovis notice this? If you point it out to him.
I will.
Okay, then yes, he does notice. And he just kind of like wiggles his eyebrows at you. He's just like, well. But this is kind of like, this is cathartic for him. Like, this is like, finally, something I can have over her. Right? Something he can quietly know that she doesn't know that he knows about her. Because there was very little of that she didn't already know that he knew.
You're welcome.
Yes. So So that's happening. Eris has also noticed it, and she's like, "You go, girl, get it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monks, they probably have good moves.
Oh god. Nate has adopted Simon's like relaxing pose where he's like laid all the way back, laying his head back on like the floor of the baths and like arms outstretched. So comfortable, in fact, that her towel has come apart at the back and is now just resting on top of her. And she's just asleep.
Nice.
And you are fairly convinced that Simon has fallen asleep under the hot, damp towel. But part of you is starting to get a little concerned, like, is he waterboarding himself?
Oh no!
Because it's been like 15 minutes of him just lying back there with the towel.
Is he visibly breathing?
You can see like breath moving like
He's
against
fine.
the towel. Yeah. He seems to be not having a lot of trouble with it.
Eris would feel it if he stopped breathing.
Yeah.
She's resting.
She's just resting on his chest, feeling like the rising and falling of his chest, like a pillow that breathes. And Tuazar and Merton are kind of like cuddling together in the bath.
I love it. Good. Yeah, boy.
So Clovis says once he's finally composed himself and has spent a significant enough time looking away from Griselda to put it out of his head for long enough to form a sentence without laughing. He turns to Diana and he says, "So maybe I'll stay here with the rest of the townsfolk tomorrow. Just give them a day to gather their things and pack up and get ready, and then the following day we'll head back. So that we have a day. And I'll just stay here with Griselda and make sure that no one's left anything behind. And just while they're on their way back, I'll travel overland with Griselda and maybe a couple of the other guild leaders. We'll head on horseback quickly the following day. Just to make sure that no one's left anything behind and we've not made a mess and anything like that.
You don't have to make up excuses.
She's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? No.
It's okay to take time off.
No. What are you talking about? Excuses. You're crazy.
She's gonna do the cheeky things she does when she's in the baths with people, and she's gonna use her tail to tickle his foot.
You see, like, the rest of you see Clovis kind of like suddenly sit bolt upright and splash a little bit. Which kind of like causes the monks across the way and Griselda and all that to like sort of look up, and he's just sitting bolt upright. He wasn't expecting anything to like brush past the bottom of his foot because he's much taller than Diana, so there's nothing there. So if something touches his foot, he's like, "There's something in here." Like,
she's laughing. She's not trying to relate.
Okay, yeah. The monks kind of like smile and roll their eyes, shake their heads. They're like, "Oh, kids," and they just go back to relaxing in their bath. Griselda is fucking burning a hole in Clovis's forehead right now with her eyes. And everyone else has calmly gone back to their nice enjoyable bath, but Griselda's just fucking watching him like, don't.
Don't what? Just
don't. Don't like make an idiot of yourself in front of the monks again, please. I want to come back here now. I have important things to take care of here that I need to come back for.
She just pokes the tail, like she pokes the tip of her tail like out of the water, and she waves it a little.
Okay. She now gives Diana a look. Like, what were you doing with your tail under the water that made him sit bolt upright like that and go red in the face and splash? what have you done? So yeah, now she's kind of like keeping an eye on Diana.
Oh no, it's so wholesome, but it looks bad.
Yeah, looks real bad.
Does Lazara see this?
Oh, Lazara saw all of this.
Lazara just kind of grins, and she turns to Griselda, and she says, "Oh, don't worry. I'm sure Diana's not doing anything yet."
Good lord.
So there's enough space between where you are and where Griselda is, like across the bath, that like you have to speak it at a raised enough voice for if Griselda would hear, everyone else would hear. Are you okay with that?
Absolutely.
Excellent. So fairly loudly, you exclaim such a sentence, and Griselda goes red in the face with blind fury. Clovis goes as red as Eris. And Tuazar and Merton sit bolt upright and give each other like about a half foot of space between, because they thought you were talking about them. And they're like cuddling, and their sort of playful tickling and stuff had been noticed. And so they suddenly sit up like, nope, we're not doing anything in the bath. No, that's silly. No. But and
do I know what Lazara's talking about?
Oh yeah.
Damn it. I was hoping it would go.
Of course.
I was hoping it would go over her head.
Yeah, I know. And Simon kind of like wakes up from like his nap and like takes the towel off his head and just kind of like looks around the bath to see like what they were just talking about. Doesn't see what they were talking about, but he does see Tuazar and Merton sitting like slightly apart now, and he's like, oh, okay. Puts his towel back over just his eyes and falls back asleep. And Eris is just kind of like giggling. And she gives Diana like a thumbs up. Nate is snoring asleep. And what is Faye doing during this time? Kalas has been quiet as well. She's a little more like red in the face now.
I want to point out that Diana glares at Lazar.
So go on, Faye.
I think she's just kind of just chilling. She's just kind of has like her back to everyone. She's just kind of resting her head on like the thing and just resting.
Okay. Just chilling out, having a nice, relaxing dip and soak. And it's good to finally have that. So you guys enjoy the rest of the time in the bath until eventually it's very clearly time to get out, as Simona's fallen asleep and he's snoring rather loudly. And Eris is also falling asleep and she's drooling on his chest and like asleep in the water. Like cuddled up to the side of him,
falling asleep yet, but she's like about to like start her meditation thing if she just keeps this up.
It has that effect on everyone where it makes you really drowsy, and it seems as though this same effect is why the monks do this later at night. But you guys all sort of one by one, you get up out of the baths and go and dry yourselves off and collect your things and get changed into the comfy clothing. And make your way out of the bathhouse and towards like sort of the camps where everyone's staying on the top level of the monastery. And once you're there, you can see like there's little encampments of people that have spread pretty much all over the area there. They're in families and groups and stuff like that. And it was all tucked away to the side during the day, but now it's night. It's all taken out, and everyone's sleeping fairly close together, just because of the space that it's required and stuff. There are some people also sharing in the the housing little areas like those, but it's mostly for like the elderly and people with young children that they don't want to be out in the cold at night and all that kind of thing. So they're all staying in there rather comfortably. But yeah, you guys can pull up a bedroll anywhere you wish and sleep. There are some sleeping down by the fire pit because they seem to be the ones that'll, in the middle of the night, go for a snack. So just go and pick apart whatever
Simone's
meats
down there.
and then back to sleep.
Probably. I'm going to sleep here next to the ham.
Yeah. Just sleeping, just like right in front of him is this ham, and he just like reaches out and pets it, like, yes, good.
That's a good strategic location.
Just sleep.
Shit. Yeah, I guess Diana's probably gonna go to bed. She's embarrassed now, so
Lyra is still very proud of herself.
Excellent.
she's like, no, I can't wood, and I should go.
I should go. So you all go and get some rest.
Oh, there was one thing
Yep. So each of you have a thing you want to do. So let's go Faye first, because why not?
Yeah, there was one thing I wanted to do before bed. If Jake wanted to do his thing first, because mine may be a little bit.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. Mine's
Okay.
gonna be a little bit too.
Okay. I just didn't want to like start something and it's just like, why is she taking 10 minutes? Like, I did my thing. Before bed, Faye's gonna cast sending and she's gonna send a message to Bo and she's just gonna be like, hey, what's up? Sorry, I know this is weird that you can like hear me in your head. I'm just using a spell. Just checking up, seeing how my dog's doing. He's not causing any trouble, is he? And she's about to like say like, oh, you can reply. And then she's like, oh, wait. Also, Diana, Gunther, and Lazara got really high tonight, and it was really funny. And I wanted to let you know. You can reply to this message, by the way.
You can reply to this message. He does send a reply saying that Moro has been quite well behaved and fun. He's been just fine looking after him, and Moro's quite anxious most days about when you're getting home.
Oh,
He's
buddy.
glad to hear that you are safe and that everything's okay. And he definitely wants to hear more about this getting high business.
Oh, I can still send another message.
Excellent.
So she sends another message and she explains like how like Diana, Gunther, and like Lazara drank this really weird tea and like like they were like saying like gibberish and whatnot and like and then drooling and then Clovis spilled his tea on his pants and they all laughed about it because they thought he peed his pants. I know this is all telekinesis, but like, can like he still get the impression that Faye's like trying really hard not to laugh while like send this message?
Oh yeah, that's hilarious. So he's very much like very laughingly he sends back that that sounds absolutely hilarious. He wishes that he could have been there, and he hopes that there's more silliness like that in the future that you can tell him about.
I can send one more because I have 3 spell slots.
Faye blowing all her spell slots in one night.
I'm going to bed right afterwards. Yeah,
I know.
afterwards.
I'm just joking.
Perfect.
This is the best
It's
time to
great.
blow your
So-
spell slots anyway.
Well, all my sending spells is just like right before bed. Text your babe before bed until the battery dies or you run out of data.
Yeah.
She sends another message and she just says, "Oh yeah, for sure." And then she also says, like how like she brought up how like to Diana how like he really like did us a solid of like watching the animals and everything. And when we get back to Passage, we'll like do something as sort of like a thank you for helping us out in like a short amount of time. And I'll like and that she's gonna talk to Diana and like figure out like what they can do, or if he has any ideas, he can like let her know.
Okay.
And then I say, this is the last message I can send, and I can't respond after this one. I'm sorry.
He says, "Oh, don't worry about that. That's not necessary." But
I
I'm
can't
sure
respond and say, yes, it is.
once he says, "I'm sure that once you guys are back, we can all get together for some drinks or something fun, and that'll be plenty enough payment for me." And he says, "Okay, I suppose we'll see you in the coming days. Good night."
I can't say goodnight back.
Yeah.
Damn it. I ran out of data.
But I mean, he said goodnight, so that's nice.
Yeah.
That's half
Yeah.
of it.
So-
That's good.
Yeah. So you go and get some rest now that you've
Mhm.
expelled.
And then I can just bring him back because I went back to sleep.
Yeah.
Nice.
So while that's going on, Lazira, you go looking for the head monk guy.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's going around and he's putting out like all the torches that were active while everyone was up and moving about. He's putting out every sort of second one, so it doesn't burn, like keep burning throughout the night. It's less of a fire hazard, and the other ones still illuminate enough for people that are getting up in the middle of the night. But yeah, you find him doing that.
So Lazira's going to approach him, and she's going to say, "Hey, do you have some time? Maybe we could talk for a bit."
He nods and puts out the last little fire and puts away the tool, and is happy to chat with you.
So Lazira just kind of takes him off to the side where there isn't anybody else, and she just kind of has this look on her face like she needs to say something, but saying it is making her really uncomfortable. And she just kind of says, "I was wondering if you could offer me some guidance."
He nods and he says, "I would be quite happy to if there is guidance I can offer."
And she says, I've spent the last few years in a very difficult state, and I just want to know how to, I don't know, reach a sense of peace, I guess."
He explains what they do for meditation, how they go about finding peace, and there's also like a method of like, it's not just that they sit around meditating all day and raking sand and all that kind of shit. There's also like an element of venting to it, where the reason they do the martial arts that they do and all the training they do isn't just for self-defense and defending others. It's also a method of burning off some of the negative emotions they feel, and it kind of keeps them in this zen place by burning that all away. Of course, he goes into great detail about it and uses much fancier words, but that's what you glean from it.
And she she just thanks him for the explanation. She just quietly says, I guess when I'm just starting to realize that I've let hate and anger control me for the last few years, and I don't want to live this life anymore. Let me rephrase that. Live this life as in live the kind of life that she's been living. Not suicidal. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you need help?
Help me or I'm gonna jump!
He does say that it's often a very, very positive sign that you can identify that that's something you want to better about yourself and something you want to change, and it'll make your journey going ahead much easier. And he says he can, before you leave, he can get one of the books that they have on like meditation and sort of the methods that they use to remain calm and soothe themselves and soothe their souls. And he says, I also have some other materials that you may find quite useful.
That would be very helpful. Thank you.
And he nods respectfully.
And she says, "Well, don't let me keep you up. I'll be heading off now."
He smiles and nods and collects the little tool he was using to put out the fires and heads back toward the main building of the monastery. And Lazara, you go and find like your
I think she's going to go and sit down like at the beach side.
Alrighty.
And just kind of like look out to the ocean and just think.
So you go for a nice quiet time of self-reflection and relaxing. And you do that for, I suppose, most of the night?
Yeah, most of the night.
Yeah. While everyone else sleeps and gets some rest. Is there anything that anyone else wanted to do before bed?
Not really that I can think of.
No. Diana as well? Anything you
I
want
was
to
just kind of I wasn't doing loot things, and she went to bed.
Yeah, all embarrassed and upset. My wholesome thing has been ruined.
Yeah.
So you head to bed. You get one of your bedroll, and you lay it out in a nice, secluded enough spot. And after a little while, Clovis comes over and brings his bedroll over to sit beside yours, and goes to sleep there.
I was not staying in his room.
No, he was out amongst everyone else, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought she would be cute.
He does have his own room in the monastery, but most of the monks are using it now because of everyone else that's come to stay.
Oh, okay.
So there's enough space. But yeah, he comes and sleeps by Diana. So you guys all get your rest and recovery of spells and any HP loss that could have happened for whatever reason.
All the spells, like just the cell phone data that Faye just used up in one go.
Yeah. Burning through all of her minutes.
She got like that notification like in her head, like you have exceeded like this amount of minutes.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit.
You're like,
And-
no.
like, fuck.
You
You've
have
gone
3
past your-
megabytes of your data remaining for the month.
You've gone
shit.
past your 3. I forgot what I was going to say.
Your data limit.
Yeah, do that limit.
You've exceeded the
So-
character limit.
Your character limit, yeah.
No, that's when you have like when you're trying to like say a message and you get cut off. That's your character limit.
Yeah.
Be like, be
Uh,
like an be like an old cell phone where it just sends it as several texts.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you have to blow through them so quickly.